Well, guys, this is Luis and Erica. We're going to speak about fears in general. I would like to start with fears to be judged. That's an interesting topic. What do you think? What do you think about it? Do you feel some fear if somebody judge you?
Well, for me specifically that part, I have learned not to go there alone,
Yeah.
because it is, I truly believe that in freedom
Yeah.
of being yourself, it's some part of the happiness that you can get in life, and I think it's been hard to grow up and try not to go there, to try to avoid
Yeah.
feeling like what other people think matters.
Yeah.
And I think this is important for you to be.
And when you are in front of, suppose, when you are in front of the people, 100 people, and you are, speaking about some whatever topic, you have this pressure to be judged,
Yeah.
to the other people, well, what they're thinking about me, what they're thinking about these words that I'm saying, or these explanation that I'm saying, and it's very complicated. Personally, it's for me one of the fiercest things in life, to be judged.
But do you think that it is more about that you fear what they would say about you, or about what you think, or about who you are?
Yeah, definitely. It's like like a baby boy, you are learning walking or learning speak, and it's difficult when somebody that actually has this experience of speaking in front of the people, or doing something new, or learning something new about some difficult topic, and it's very interesting. But when somebody come to you and try to simplify the topic of the issue right there, it's like, okay, man, so be careful about that, because it's not easy. I'm starting to learn something new. I'm starting to combine this pressure or these fears that I have personally in my mind, in my soul. So I would like to start day by day, step by step. Finally, in sometimes in the during my life, can be natural, can be easy, to be. So that's gonna be the goal for me, for personally, to stay day by day, step by step, could remove this fear, about general topics.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Because fear is one of those things that limit you the most. It can stop you from doing or being, or all of those things that kind of cut your freedom at some point.
And putting on the table these examples, when you were learning English, and when you were learning to play guitar, when you were learning film, what do you feel about that? What was your feeling about these new topics, new knowledge about it,
Well,
new information, finally?
New information. Always getting into new things. It's always kind of scary.
Scary.
Because it is, changes in life are always scary. Every time you make a choice to do something and change something, it's kind of the fear to the unknown, to where are you going and why are you doing these things. And this is particularly something that you should just go with it.
Yeah.
Like try not to expect too much from it, and pressure you to do it like right away.
Yeah.
Because I think we all want to rush into
Sometimes,
learning,
yeah.
right? I think it is like I want to know everything just so fast and learn fast and already do it,
Yeah.
Like like trying to play the guitar. It's just like
Yeah.
I want to know how to do that now, and I want to play a song right now.
Now,
There's
now.
no way.
With a rush.
You know, you need to
Yeah.
learn.
And some people, some people want to get rush, to play guitar, to learn a language, and it's not easy. You need to be calm in that part. This is a process that requires time. So it's the same thing when you when somebody that you can see in life and you can see around you is getting learning something fast, and you want to be like him or be like her.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's competition, kind of competition, and it's not like that. You have your own clock, you have your own time for to be to reach that the topics of that goals.
Your own way to learn.
Yeah.
Because what I think that I don't think school really take into account
Yeah.
is that all those bunch of kids in front of a teacher, they all learn differently. And I think at school when you're young you feel like I must be stupid, I must be slower because people is learning fast and having all these A's and great grades and all that, and I am not doing that. Why am I not doing that?
Yeah.
Probably because you learn differently.
Yeah,
At different pace,
and-
in different ways.
And that's the reason why you avoid that kind of scenarios after in the future, because you are thinking that, okay, what are they already thinking about me, about my feel, about my think, and this is the worst thing about learn something new.
Yeah.
Avoid to ask, avoid to to reach or complete the learn of the course in this case, because somebody gets that fucking shit faster. For me, in particular way, is like, okay, every people, every teacher, or every university in this case wants to the people get the information faster, quickly, because we don't have time. So I'm putting you these topics and these rules and these every information faster, and it's like, okay, man, I'm gonna I have time for that. I will get the information, but in my own time, on my own, but I need to complete the exam, I need to complete the test, so I will be able to do that, but in my time, So this is not about I'm a lazy boy or I'm a stuffy boy. It's just I have my time. So that's the reason why some people don't understand university procedures or college procedures, because they are on a clock, or on time.
Yeah. Well, you have your own pace for learning.
Right.
And I think one of the worst parts of that is that when you're trying to learn something new, you feel that you're being judged by the people who's teaching you these things. So, this one's slow. This one doesn't know anything.
Personally,
this one.
Okay. Also, don't worry. So sorry for that. The thing that I want to say is like when you're being part of a team, and you have doubts about that topic, are you that kind of person that reserve the information, or to prefer to save the information for you, or you share with everybody the information that you know?
It depends. Because sometimes I have the tendency of not being very sure about what I know. Because I know stuff, and I know I understand it my way, but I'm not sure that the way I'm understanding it is the actual way that it should be done. So sharing with other people, it's like, I don't know if I'm going to confuse them further, or I'm going to be helping them. So until the moment I know that what I know is the right way to do stuff, that is the moment when I start kind of trying to share this information, or to be more open like that. And I like to study that on my own and try to understand everything.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's a good point because, you know, every time we are overthinking some things, you know, we are
Yeah.
overthinking topics, information, you know, back to back, you know, in back and forward in your mind. It's like, oh man, you know, this is a lot of information, and the reality is not. It's just it's clear information, but you are overthinking about another things, you know, that
Yeah.
doesn't have any sense, you know. So that's the issue there.
And sometimes, you know, I am pretty sure that everybody does need to comprehend
Yeah.
what they're studying, but me particularly, I need to understand every single part of it. I need to know, because if I don't know, I will never be sure. And this is something that it's has a I think that was my issue at school. You know, that I was never sure because I didn't know if I was understanding exactly all that. And yes, of course, it comes with the fear of being judged by your teachers, by your peers, by everyone else, because I don't want to ask because I don't want them to think I'm slow.
Absolutely, absolutely understand that because I sometimes when I was, you know, 15, 16 years old, I felt like that, you know, like okay, you know, and it's part of these sentence that are you freedom or you get this freedom to be yourself or not, because sometimes we have this sensation about I'm yourself, I am yours myself, sorry, in this case, um, but not really, because I'm, you know, I'm keeping I keep being myself, but in my, you know, in my own space, you know, when I'm with somebody, when I'm with a group in this case, and then they are thinking about me that I'm a patient, but I'm really not, that I'm you know, shy, or you know, this kind of personality, reserved personality, with inside personality in the soul. It's like when were you are ready, and when are you ready for